the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice, and today, for Father's Day, we're looking at Stepfather 2, Make Room for Daddy, released remarkably in theaters in 1989. I covered the first Stepfather last Father's Day, and it was such a damn good time. Not only was it fun to make a kill count for, but it's also just a good movie. It's a well-shot, well-acted, wonderfully suspenseful thriller, which makes the cheap familiarity of this sequel so much more disappointing. This movie is a mite worse than mid, but when you've already seen a good version of something, it sucks to watch the pieces reassembled into an uninspired copy. Stepfather 2 takes place shortly after the first film. It's one of those sequels that starts with the killer behind bars and a doctor trying to rehabilitate them. Kinda like The Dentist 2, or Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. Forget it, Doc. That guy's irredeemable, except for his excitement over colorful vehicles.
Red car. Good point.
Just like those sequels, Stepfather 2 isn't good, despite the best efforts of its cast. A returning Terry O'Quinn puts in his usual top-notch work, and the new supporting cast members are more than capable, but they just can't elevate the shoddy craftsmanship of a movie that feels bored of itself. It moves through dialogue and action like they're a homework task, without anything of cinematic interest. Instead of a thriller, it tries to be more of a horror movie, but sadly, isn't good at being either. Even the music, outside of the recycled main theme, is egregious. It's as melodramatic as daytime television. I love Jerry Blake as a character and think that he's an underrated killer in the horror canon, but this sequel doesn't do him any favors. It was written by a guy who never wrote anything before or after, and directed by the late Jeff Burr, whose career mostly consisted of horror sequels that were sometimes fun, but never anything you could call good. Of course, a bad movie often makes for a great kill count, especially when it's from the 80s. I mean, where else can you find shit like this?
Room for Daddy, huh? Daddy's here, huh?
How much work? Oh, a text. Read text.
Hello, James. It's me, your step counter, Zorin. It's an emergency. I'm being questioned on if I really work for Dead Meat. Please click this link and verify my employment information.
I mean, if it's an emergency, I guess I should... Wait a minute. Wait, no. Send... Wait, this seems weird. How do I really know it's you? After all, in this day and age, there's a lot of ways people can fish for our information, like with imposter links that mimic banks, social media, shipping services, or even co-workers. I mean, how many texts have you gotten lately about packages that can't be delivered until you verify information? That's why you always need to check links, especially the hyperlink, for anything indicating it's not the real site, like an extra letter or a missing letter. And you can take it one step further with threat protection from today's sponsor, NordVPN, which is always on the lookout to protect you from malicious sites, downloads, trackers, and intrusive ads. Send sorry, Zorin, but I think you're on your own.
You said I'm on my own. Oh.
Use our link to get a huge discount on a 2-year plan plus 4 additional bonus months at nordvpn.com/deadmeat. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Get it at nordvpn.com/deadmeat or click the link in the description below. How much work will this evil stepdaddy make for your favorite kill daddy? Let's find out. The movie begins with a recap of the original, first in voiceover.
Wait a minute. Who am I here?
And then full previously on Lost mode. Oh man, remember when Jerry fell down the stairs with a knife in his chest? Pretty crazy. Can't believe it didn't kill him. But it didn't, just left him with a scar on his chest and sweat on his chest scar. A balder Jerry Blake is now institutionalized at Puget Sound Psych, which gets real gothic when the weather's bad. Look at that place. If you've already forgotten the opening credits montage, don't worry. Jerry's got a new Dr. Joe who recaps things for us again. Yes, we remember the dead little girl, dude. How could we ever forget? And you don't have to lean in so close. We can hear you just fine. Despite knowing Jerry's whole MO, MD Joe wants to find a way to reach him somehow. He's so sympathetic, he even has him uncuffed. Bums him a cigarette too. God, we know this dude is so fucking dead. The only question is when. Can he beat Dr. Burns from The Dentist 2, who survived a mere 25 minutes? Or can he go the distance, like Dr. Bloom from Silent Night 2, who lasted a whole 1 hour and 13 minutes? Gotta say, I don't think old Joe is in the running, since Jerry's already had his carpentry rights reinstated. He's allowed to craft a model suburban home, just like he always wanted to. The craftsmanship moves Dr. Joe to basically fucking tears, and while the dude delights over his findings, Jerry uses a sharp part of his model to kill Dr. Joe by stabbing him in the neck. Oh, look at all these these dramatic close-ups. The horror! The horror! Waiting outside the office is security guard Smith, who hates Jerry and even gave him a nickname.
Bad Daddy.
See, Kill Daddy was open for me. Gore Daddy is, of course, Tom Savini.
We literally call Tom Gore Daddy because of you.
Oh, no!
We made him a coffee mug at the shop that says Gore Daddy.
Smith does that stupid entering a room without looking thing that's unrealistic, but allows a horror character to get attacked and killed more easily. But man, is it dumb. And a pet peeve of mine in cheap horror movies. A security guard wouldn't do that. He'd walk in looking where he was going. Jerry steals Smith's uniform and mustachios himself. All it takes is some craft glue and a pile of hairs he's been sedulously collecting with a nightly ritual of pore plucking. Trichotillomania paying off. He leaves real casual-like, whistling his favorite tune.
Smith, you asleep again?
A re-de-mustached Jerry then finds a ride when he comes across a dude and slams his hands in the boot. I don't know how he actually kills him. We don't see that shit. Maybe broken hands were enough for the guy. Now, who knows? The car and the dude's money are nice, but Jerry knows the real tickets to freedom are a hairpiece and contacts. Oh, check and check. All right, buddy, you're good to go. Get back to the fight! Except before he can get to killing again, we've got to sit through yet another recap courtesy of a news report. This time, we hear about the first movie's events again, and everything we just saw happen a few minutes ago. Who's this movie made for? The guy from Memento? Despite the dad hunt underway, Jerry ain't scared. He's searching for that perfect suburban life. And look at that, the TV shows him exactly where he can find one. Palm Meadows, a planned community that lets Americans live the dream. Jerry heads there as fast as he fucking can. He arrives with a new identity, Dr. Gene Clifford, a psychologist who deals with family issues.
I find that everything in life begins or ends with the family, one way or another.
He finds a house in Palm Meadows right the fuck away, and it'll work for him, even if he doesn't love the lack of basement.
Well, my last house had a basement workshop. I like to work with my hands.
Yeah, he sure loved batting lights like cat toys down there. But that's okay, he's in Palm Meadows, a place for families. And even better, his hottie hot realtor Carol lives right across the street. She's a recent divorcee with a fatherless kid, and that is exactly Jerry's kink. No wonder he moves in, what, that night? Dude just forked over his down payment in cash and got to yeeting that sale sign out of the yard. Anything to live in this warmly shot world, which director Jeff Burr contrasts with the cold depiction of the psych ward. Carol's a working single mom who has a strained relationship with her son Todd. He just can't stand how much she doesn't keep up with baseball.
Got to be a Pedro Carrero in there someplace, right?
The Dodgers traded Guerrero.
Wow, you little shit. She bought you baseball cards and you're gonna whine at her for not knowing the current roster? That's like expecting your parent to know what season Fortnite is on. I told you, Mom, every gun's a blaster now. But really, Todd's upset because his dad left them for a new girlfriend a year ago and he's missing a male presence in his life. Sounds like a jackpot for Jerry. Especially since Carol's a clear choice for him amidst the harlots of modern dating. Video dating options reveal gold diggers, career women, and worst of all, women on contraceptives.
I use a diaphragm and...
I bet Jerry thinks there are ways of shutting that whole thing down, huh? Somehow Jerry, sorry, I guess I should probably be calling him Gene now, immediately starts leading group therapy sessions with all the Palm Meadows wives and MILFs.
It was all very new to me.
Yeah, he is too, Carol. Nevertheless, she persists talking about her personal life, starting with her ex-husband.
He's a dentist.
Oh shit, is this a crossover sequel? Nice! In no time at all, Carol and Gene are thinking about each other in sappy piano tones. Carol's played by Meg Foster, who was hired mere days before production began. Director Burr didn't want her for the role, despite her strong acting. Fans of They Live know. But Burr thought she looked too striking and exotic, and that Jerry would go for someone with more of an all-American appearance. You know, a real apple pie maker. A bump in between the two of them reveals Gene's sad single-man dinners, so she invites him to a takeout dinner date at her place. Todd is there too, but not for long. He sulks away from the table to go throw balls at the garage. Ha, typical Todd. Good thing this total fucking stranger is here to step in and turn it into a pitching lesson. The paternal display wins over son and mom, and before you know it, they're nailing. Not Gene and Carol, Gene and Todd. I meant nailing wood. What did you think? Oh, gross! Whoa, and Todd even gets a custom skateboard ramp? Damn, Gene Bean, didn't know you were so extreme! Pretty soon, Step Pap is happy and right where he wants to be.
Home sweet home.
which is also the kill count where the business gag first appeared in a gradual buildup. That's good kill count trivia right there. Gene's world gets turned upside down when Carol's ex comes back around, having finally left the girlfriend he ran off with. Sure, Gene may shake Philip's hand on the outside, but on the inside, it's back to Raging Jerry in the workshop.
Room for Daddy, huh? Daddy's here, huh?
All that daddy talk means he can't hear when his home is fucking invaded. What are you doing, lady? It's Mail Lady Maddie, local woman and Carol's best friend. She thought Gene was cute at first, but has grown suspicious of the way he's always got that murderous look to him. She left her hat here during Gene's last Women of the World Summit, and after breaking in to get it back, she decides to get snoopy. While trying to take Woodstock of the good doctor's notes, he finds her and scares her half to death. But don't worry, Maddie, he won't put that hammer to use just yet. No, not just yet. Maddie is played by horror legend Caroline Williams, best known as the kick-ass Stretch in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. She's in a fair number of horror sequels.
I have a resume riddled with Roman numerals.
One of them is Leprechaun 3, where she was subject to my favorite kill of the franchise. We salute those blowing up boobs and butt. Oh yes we do! Kablam! Maddie has seen through Gene's weirdness by now and calls out what I've been saying this whole time.
Here we are, we're pouring our hearts out to some guy who no one knows diddly about.
But Carol still thinks fondly of Jer Bear, even if she can't be with him right now. She explains to Gene that Todd needs his father, so she's taking Philip back, even if the kid doesn't seem to want his dad back anymore. He's got Mean Gene now. That guy built him a skateboard ramp. And if he gets all A's, maybe he can get a quarter pipe too. Phil goes over to Gene's house for a free therapy lesson, but only because Carol asked him to. He doesn't want to be there.
Let's get something straight. I'm only here for Carol's sake. She wants you to check me out, see if I'm for real this time. Well, I am.
Oh, that's good, because Gene's for real too. For real about to crack this bottle over your head, ha ha! Jerry screams at Phil for being a deadbeat as he beats him dead, shown to us in cutaways of blood squirting on things, which is often a sign of cheapness. Cheapness plagues this whole movie, unfortunately. Co-producer William Burr, director Jeff Burr's brother, said the lack of coverage was due to their low budget of under $2 million. Seems like the only thing they spent money on was Terry O'Quinn. He was initially reluctant to return, even though he liked playing the character in the first movie.
It was good fun for that reason, and I got to get a little bit wacky.
Eventually, they offered him enough to come back, and he pitched ideas for the story and character, all while never being a dick or a diva about it.
This is the movie he could have been an asshole on. And he was exactly the opposite.
Man, O'Quinn seems so cool. Gene drives Phil's body back to the hotel he was staying at. He's got to cover his tracks, which will be a piece of cake for old Jerry. He's had years of practice making people disappear.
Come on, Phil. Take a ride.
The ride they take is to a junkyard where Terry O'Quinn's stunt driver double spins Phil's car all over the place. Haha, Jerry's having a great time. But then he crashes it and just leaves it in the junkyard? That's your plan, Jer Bear? I thought you'd have something more untraceable. This is worse than the Norman Bates / Pearl Douglas method. And you risk dog piss bringing him back to life. I guess there's only one thing Jerry knows how to do well. And that is whistling in the dark. Gene gets back to his house and tells Todd that his dad left town again. The kid blames himself, but Gene Machine tells him not to worry. He can make him a sandwich and teach him a song. Todd is played by a 13-year-old Jonathan Brandis, the year before he was Bill in the It miniseries. Oh, wait, that's the same kid? Wow, great acting. Brandis sadly died at the age of 27 in 2003. I guess Jerry knows how to hide a body better than I do, because the junkyard cover-up works when Phil's corpse gets the John LaBatt treatment. His disappearance makes Carol believe he ran out on her again. Excellent. Now she's vulnerable to the call of the Gene Peen. He's got her dressing up like a little sailor for him and everything. That's cute. The two of them announced their relationship publicly at a barbecue.
She's agreed to become my wife.
Oh, word? Marriage already? What the fuck is the matter with you, Carol? That's straight reckless. Maddie thinks it's sus as fuck too, and straight up tells Carol to her face. She says they can't trust Gene, especially since he says all his relatives are dead. He's like Don Draper.
He has no people. You can't trust a person like that.
But Carol says that's a shitty reason to judge somebody and tells her friend to fuck off. That night, Carol tries to fuck on Gene in a scene that's as sappy as the rest of the movie. God, this music's so bad. But Gene's old-fashioned and wants to wait until marriage.
If more people stuck with tradition, there'd probably be a lot happier people and a lot fewer divorces.
Meanwhile, Maddie snoops through the dude's mail and finds a high school reunion invitation for the real Gene Clifford. It wasn't just a made-up name. For whatever reason, Jerry picked it from a recent obituary, which we saw earlier. Maddie makes fake Gene meet her in a public park so she can reveal what she's learned about him.
Funny thing is, I see your name here.
but I don't see you.
And he can't talk his way out of looking that different. She threatens to tell Carol, but he promises he'll do it himself. But instead of telling her the truth, he just gives her what she wanted and dicks her down. Tradition be damned. The D knocks her out, freeing a first-person Jerry to sneak into Maddie's house while she's asleep and try to steal her Pringles. But her Pringles senses tingle, so she gets up and grabs a letter opener, ready to defend herself and her bunny slippers. It's a pretty fucking boring scene, dude. Complete with a cliche cat jump scare. And wait a minute, that cat's not even hers?
You were uninvited.
Oh, Maddie, don't start talking about uninvited cats. You'll make me want to cover Uninvited, the 80s sci-fi horror flick where an uninvited cat becomes a mutant who kills people aboard a yacht. Don't make me do it, unless you really want me to. I mean, hey, at least that movie has a 4K release. We're stuck with a crappy standard def DVD for Stepfather 2. While Maddie's distracted, Jean shows up in slow motion and strangles her to death with fabric around her neck. And that's a wrap on Ms. Williams. Okay, everybody, give her a hand. Thanks for coming. In fact, thanks for coming back for a reshoot. Initially, Maddie's death involved her being snuffed out in a fireplace. What we got instead was the result of a bunch of reshoots that upset the cast and crew. Stepfather 2 was originally shot to be released direct-to-video, but then Miramax bought it for theatrical distribution, and after a test screening, the shitty Weinstein brothers demanded changes. They wanted more blood to make it more of a horror movie, and were, unsurprisingly, total dicks about it.
They start like pushing me. I should have slugged them.
Director Jeff Burr and Terry O'Quinn refused to partake in the changes, wanting to keep the movie more of a thriller than a slasher. So the Weinsteins hired another director and did reshoots without them. Thus, why you don't see O'Quinn's face at all in Maddie's final death scene. Caroline Williams is actually being strangled by the prop man in these shots. Other shots added by the Weinsteins include that guy's hands getting crushed by the trunk and some of the bloody shots during the first two kills in the psych ward. They also added the cat jump scare, which director Burr really hated.
A fake scare with a cat, which I would never do in any movie ever. I hated it in Alien.
Jerry frames Maddie's death as a suicide and cleans up his traces, pausing only to steal a bottle of her wine. On his way out, he almost gets caught by Maddie's neighbor, but is able to sneak away and deliver the wine to Carol. Ha, nothing like a middle-of-the-night bedside wine delivery. She's really into it too. Look at how she's caressing that bottle. She's about to uncork Jean. Maddie's body is found the next morning and her house goes up for sale. Carol's upset because her friend is dead and she's got to try to sell another house in this market. Jean tells her it's not a big deal and blames Maddie's death on her inability to find a man. She should have been more like that chick from Nightmare 5.
Me on my own.
Fabulous.
Maddie's neighbor Sam stops by, the guy who almost caught Jerry, but turns out he's blind, so Jerry's totally in the clear.
I heard someone walking from her backyard across mine. Someone whistling.
Oh fuck, never mind, Jerry's fucked! Sam even knows his entrance music. Dude, what if Camptown Races gets this video copyright claimed? Jean tells Carol to ignore this revelation that her best friend may have been murdered.
Carol, people die. Life goes on. We have a lot to do. You have a wedding to plan.
Carol, a human being, says that's fucked up and that she needs to postpone the wedding. That goes about as well as you'd expect for Scary Jerry, who starts to blow up but impressively pivots at the last minute.
I love you.
I love you too, Jean.
And it works. Carol's back in for the wedding. I guess Maddie can rest in piss. They have a wedding with all of her not dead friends, and Carol gets a bottle of wine from Maddie's parents. While getting ready for her nuptials, she realizes it's the same kind Jean brought her the night Maddie died. Even more damning, she hears Todd whistling Camptown Races. I love the moment when Jerry hears him whistling it too. His enjoyment of the tune quickly turns to the realization that might screw him over. And sure enough,
Where did you learn?
Todd says he learned it from him. He learned it from watching Jean. Jerry tries to act like it's no big deal, but Carol ain't having it.
You taught my son the same fucking song that Sam heard the night that Maddie died. That's the difference. Now answer the question. Where did you get the wine?
Jerry realizes he's cooked and starts whining about everything he's done for her.
I even had sex with you, for God's sake!
Yeah, the poor guy! He refuses to let another woman leave his life. At least, not on her terms. He grabs her and gets violent, kicking off a fight scene where O'Quinn and Foster mostly did their own stunts. Todd enters the room and almost gets an underage face full of booze, but ducks the bottle and runs the fuck away. Go, 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 go! Ah, shit, little man. You should have kept running instead of trying to hide. Now you're trapped in the closet! Carol tries looking for her son, but it's difficult when Jerry keeps tackling her to the ground. A fork in the hand buys her a little bit of time, until he tosses her over over the table and takes it out. Not a problem. Thankfully, Todd's a crafty boy and is able to free himself from the closet. Happy Pride Month! So right as Jerry moves to cut Carol open with a cake knife, Todd saves his mom with a hammer bash. He follows it up with a claw to the chest that puts Jerry Jean on the ground. Good job, Todd Meister. You truly are the man of the house now. Oh yeah, there's a wedding that was supposed to happen. You know, I think people are gonna remember this one. Hey, she ain't marrying that kid, is she? The movie ends with Gene apparently dying, but we know there's a third one, so he ain't going on the count. Consider this death annulled. How many people did dear old dad make dear old dead? Let's find out and get to the numbers. Only 5 people died in Stepfather 2, which I've got to say, pretty piss poor. The victims were 4 men and 1 woman, giving us something blue for the pie chart. It's not something new though. We've seen this count and breakdown in 6 other movies before. Also, disappointingly, the sequel had 1 fewer kill than the original. What the fuck you doing? With a runtime of 88 minutes, Stepfather 2 had a kill on average every 17.6 minutes. I'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to, no one, actually. This movie tries to be more of a slasher than the first one, but fails at it. These deaths are lame. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. Double shade for lamest kill, we'll go to that driver guy, since we only saw his hands get slammed in the trunk. And that's it. Stepfather 2 came out in 1989, and everyone recognized it for the turd that it was, so it made no money, and everyone hated it. I love a happy ending. Dude, if you want, I can do the 3rd movie next year, where Jerry survives but gets plastic surgery so he can be played by a different guy. But until next time, I'm James A. Janice. This has been The Kill Count.
On the next Kill Count.
Are you sitting at home with nothing to do?
Did you just shift in your seat at me, you little moody ass?
Vacation off to a bumpy start?
Okay, is it just me or is this giving Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Break that boredom with a brand new board game.
Really? A candlestick? Do you think you include?
No, not that one. This one.
The Blackening?
It's a blast for the whole family.
This game got bad vibes. No, thank you.
Join the fun as you race your friends in this game about race.
You are a black character in a horror movie. Prove that you can stay alive.
Don't wake the slasher, or you might end up needing an operation.
I got shot once.
Twice.
In the same spot. One hole.
If you lose, you die.
Oh my God, this game is impossible to win.
But if you win, you might just make it back home.
I would like to celebrate freedom.
Freedom.
Warning, game contains small pieces.
Why I gotta get a bottle?
Because you're literally a drone.
So this week, bring home a game of the Blackening.
I do need fun.
Then on Juneteenth, watch The Kill Count, ages 12 and up, only on Dead Meat.
Why the fuck black women gotta save everyone all the goddamn time?
The Blackening can currently be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Dead Meat always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count on Stepfather 2. With a lot of horror sequels, I have their subtitle just like burned into my brain, but not this one. I didn't think Make Room for Daddy was actually a legit subtitle for it, but it was. It's right there on the DVD case. As much fun as I've been having with these like low budget, unknown, older slashers, I think the next few Kill Counts are probably gonna be more like movies that people want to see. I can only have my fun for so long before people are like, hey, we need views. That's okay. We got good stuff coming up. We have a big announcement regarding the channel coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. It's going to involve Dead Meat Presents and Dead Meat. And on that note, the Dead Meat podcast is officially doing Hot Saw Summer. We are covering all 10 Saw movies back to back on the podcast, no week skipped. Just week after week, Saw. First episode starts Wednesday, June 18th, so make sure you check it out. It's me, Chelsea, and Gressel, who has never seen any of the Saw movies. He's seeing them for the first time. That's what makes this really fun. All right, thanks everyone. Be good people.